Turning now to a story we've been covering for months, the New World Screwworm threat. And the latest case of the flesh-eating parasite was just detected in a cow less than 70 miles from the U.S. Mexico border. Valeria Leon joins us now live from Mexico City with more on what this means. Hi, Valeria.
Hi, Kira. Well, alarm bells went off this week when the parasite was discovered in the northern Mexican state of Nuevo León, a few miles away from the U.S. Mexico border. And this region is hoping to skirt the difficulties the South is having with its livestock.
The last time Mexican rancher Fidel Gutierrez watched one of his animals die from screwworm was 30 years ago. Now the flesh-eating parasite is back with a vengeance.
We've watched the screwworm wipe out everything.
The parasite first reappeared in November from Guatemala. Now it's devastating cattle herds in the southern Mexican state of Chiapas, and the U.S. closed its border to cattle exports in May. Most cases remain in the south, but this week a parasite was discovered in the northern state of Nuevo León, just 17 miles from the U.S. border.
An outbreak of the New World Screwworm in the state of Texas is estimated to cost U.S. livestock producers approximately $1 billion.
With pressure mounting from the U.S. to control the infestation, Mexico is blaming illegal cattle crossings along its remote southern border.
They come in through the area of Benemérito de las Américas.
In the town of Benemérito de las Américas, the economy depends largely on smuggling livestock.
This is one of the illegal cattle crossings from Central America to Mexico. Smugglers use this spot hidden in the jungle along the Sumacinta River on the Mexico-Guatemala border to slip cows into Mexico every day.
The U.S. and Mexico signed emergency measures in September to quell the crisis and eventually reopen the border to Mexican cattle.
And the recent screwworm case was found in northern Mexico. This case involved an 8-month-old cow that had been moved from an outbreak-affected region in Mexico. Of the 100 cattle in the shipment, only one animal carried the infection, according to a statement from the Ministry of Agriculture. It's notable that this is the first case close to the U.S. border, but in the South, farmers have been struggling with the parasite over the past year. Kira.
Well, Valeria, how have these recent cases of livestock infection affected U.S.-Mexico relations?
Well, Kira, this week, Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum said she hopes the border will be reopened to cattle exports in November, as both U.S. and Mexican governments agreed in a statement released last month. But with the new case discovered this week, the reopening might be delayed a few more months. And the tension from the U.S. government towards the Mexican government and the Mexican authorities has been important in the last weeks.
And how is the government in Mexico responding to the ratcheting up of this crisis?
Well, Kira, since July, both governments have been actively monitoring thousands of fly traps in states along the border, and no flies have been detected so far. But authorities on both sides of the border have committed to investing in new tools to combat the parasite. Earlier this year, following the detection of cases in the Mexican states of Oaxaca and Veracruz, the USDA closed southern ports of entry to livestock trade. And in July, President Sheinbaum said that the information leading to the halt of cattle imports was exaggerated after the detection of a single case in eastern Mexico. American ports remain closed to Mexican imports of cattle, and this has signified pressure from Mexican producers, especially in the north of the country, but also for Mexican authorities who have called to open the border soon. Kira.
Definitely an important story we will all be keeping a close eye on. Valeria Leon reporting live from Mexico City. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.